Welcome into Bengals Breakdown. I am Tom Downey, producer Stone, once again behind the scenes for today's show. We're going to begin with latest on Joe Burrow. We won't go too far in depth here. It's pretty straightforward. Looks pretty good out there in the off-season workout stage here for the Bengals OTA set to come later. Doesn't seem to be hindered at all by the wrist. You know, maybe the sore days have come when he's not been out there, whatever. I think you'll see some more under center work, by the way, kind of in the early vibes coming out of workouts that'll be a bigger priority, which the Bengals did do more of with Jake Browning. I think that helped unlock some of the play-action game for them last season. Obviously, you still want to do the things Burrow is comfortable with. That will remain a heavy dosage of shotgun sets, empty personnel, but adding more of the things that Browning did well with the offense, I think will benefit the Bengals and Burrow overall. So what is your confidence level in the Bengals offense for the 2024 campaign? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comment section. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. How confident are you in the Bengals offense this upcoming season? We're doing it again, I know. Justin Jefferson trade. That's probably why a good portion of you guys clicked the video. My boy James Rapine explored the Justin Jefferson trade stuff as part of some wild trade idea segment for Bleacher Report. So I think it's worth going into again since James mentioned it, and he does great stuff. The first thing he mentioned, and I appreciate he approached it this way, was like the Vikings say no trade idea. Bengals get Jefferson, Vikings get T. Higgins. They would then work out a cheaper long-term deal than what Jefferson got, or is going to get, by the way. And the Vikings also get a first-round pick. I agree with James. That's not enough for Minnesota. An additional first-round pick, as valuable as that, pick 29, 32, whatever it's going to be, is, I don't think is worth the downgrade and the cap savings included to go from, a top 20, whatever it is, receiver in Higgins to a top 2 and maybe not 2 receiver in Jefferson. So what he pointed out was maybe this makes the Vikings think about it a little bit. 2 first-round picks and T. Higgins in exchange for Justin Jefferson. And I do think that's probably your baseline trade. We've seen receivers go for premium assets in the past, the first and change, right? Jefferson, at his age, with what he's done so far in his NFL career, is worth more than some of those guys. But that's a lot to give up, if we're being honest. So more thoughts on this to come. But do you want the Bengals to trade for Justin Jefferson? It's the pinned comment on today's video, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no in the comment section, the pinned comment of today's show. One thing we have to consider in this conversation is that Jefferson will not just be the highest paid wide receiver, I don't believe. I think once that deal gets done, and this hypothetical with the Bengals, but with Minnesota more likely, he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback. And it's probably going to be $35+ million per year. You're paying Joe Burrow $55 million per year. You're going to probably give Jamar Chase more than what Justin Jefferson got because that's how markets tend to work. So let's say you're paying $35 for Jefferson. Let's just say it's $36 for Chase and $55 per year with Burrow. That's a lot of money. And that's probably too much money to justify paying to 3 players on the roster. Now, I will say, Jefferson, who was averaging 100 yards per game last year, Chase and Burrow, man, the Rams were like, F them picks. Bengals can go F that defense. Just air it out every play. You can't double both guys every snap. The rest of your receiving core will only be draft picks. Who cares? And your defense probably won't be as good because you're giving up 2 premium assets there, first rounders. You're not going to pay Hendrickson. Whatever. It's a fun idea. I bet there are Bengals fans out there that when Madden gets going, and I'm just going to trade for him real quick. It's fun. I also would advise this. Don't get your hopes up. Of all the hypothetical Bengals moves, isn't this the least Bengally of all of the Bengals moves to make? Of like, yeah, F them picks. Pay a big contract to 2 receivers. That's just not how they're built. I don't even know if the Rams would do that. So it's fun, I get it, but I would be blown away if it even got close to happening. Now, you can get the Amarius Mims rookie jersey for the Bengals over at chatsports.com/Amarius Mims. It is number 71. I think it's a great number for a right tackle in Cincinnati, by the way. We'll keep you updated on Mims, by the way, throughout OTAs as those get going for Cincinnati. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Amarius Mims. Let's talk free agency here. Bleacher Report advocating the Bengals look to sign Emmanuel Ogbah in free agency, who probably is one of the better free agents left. Before I give thoughts on this, here's what Bleacher Report wrote in favor. They also mentioned the Ravens for Emmanuel Ogbah and said the Bengals are another AFC North team that might want to add a veteran. Even with Trey Hendrickson back after requesting a trade, they could use Ogbah in the rotation along with Myles Murphy, Cam Sample, and Joseph Ossai. So this is the first thing I thought of. Well, where's Sam Hubbard in that conversation? That's the other starter. How do we not mention him? It's like saying, yes, the Bengals have receivers, Jermaine Burton, and just leaving out Charlie Jones and Andre Yoshivas. Like, what are we doing out there? It's actually probably even a poor example. It's like saying the starting offensive line doesn't have Alex Kappa. That's what we're doing there. Did he get raptured? I was going to say, is he dead? But that kind of felt mean. And Hubbard went to Moeller, so we can go the raptured route there. I look at this Bengals pass rushing unit, and I see Hendrickson. I see Murphy. I see Hubbard. Joseph Ossai, Cam, whatever. They left off Cedric Johnson. That was a day 3 pick. It's fine. You have 7 draft picks or players you signed to big contracts on this roster. Edge? Another one? For a 5.5 sack guy in 2023, where are your snaps coming for Emmanuel Ogbah? You ain't lose anybody in that pass rush room of note. Are you not going to give snaps to Murphy? Murphy has to play this year. I have to see him get snaps. I know Hubbard's coming off the surgery. He's fine. At least I believe that. Hendrickson's not going anywhere. So I don't get it. What do you guys think? Would you sign Emmanuel Ogbah as this roster is currently constructed? Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments section. S for sign, P for pass. Go vote in the comments section right now. Look, I simply don't see the need for another defensive end. I don't see the need to go out and try to acquire somebody at that position group. You have bodies, you have starters, you have investments. Why do you need another player? Genuinely, I think Bleacher Report forgot Sam Hubbard exists. And that's an embarrassment for them. Look, if injuries happen, sure, we can revisit. I'll throw that qualifier in there for everything. But edge is not a need for me. I don't see, you know what? You got Hendrickson, you got Hubbard. I want to play Myles Murphy more snaps. Adding a veteran who's only going to come to play snaps, I don't see how that benefits me. Those are your top 3 guys. Some combination of Ossai, Johnson, Sample can work out edge 4, 5, whatever. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys are subscribed here at Bengals Breakdown. Free YouTube videos, not quite every day, but that's the goal as we get Stone further trained up here at Bengals Breakdown. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/Bengals TV for more free videos. Let's visit PFF and their top breakout candidate for the Bengals in 2024. That is Chase Brown, which I like what PFF is going for here, by the way. Here's what they wrote. Presumed starter Zach Moss had a terrific 2023 campaign, posting career highs in attempts and yards, but his numbers after contact were spectacular. Brown figures to slot into the RB2 role, and his receiving prowess, his 81.1 receiving game, was 5th among backs to be targeted 10-plus times, should warrant additional opportunities. Pretty clear to me that these 2 guys, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, are going to be the clear-cut lead backs, the 1-2 punch, if you will, for Cincinnati in the running back room this offseason. Who do you think ends up having more yards? Then we'll spend some more time here on Chase Brown in particular. But sound off. ZM for Zach Moss, CB for Chase Brown. I am still going to pick Zach Moss. I am very excited about him with what I saw last year in Indy, how he fits in this offense. But that doesn't mean I'm not excited about Chase Brown. I also liked him coming out of Illinois. For a Bengals, they made a big deal about got to get more explosive, more big plays, especially in the ground game. I think Moss and Chase Brown offer those things. Look, it was admittedly a very small sample size for Chase Brown in the 2023 campaign. 44 carries, 179 yards, did contribute 14 catches for 156 carries. Remembering, of course, that almost none of those carries came early in the season. In fact, in the first 10 weeks of the regular season, he had 6 touches. He wasn't, or 6 carries, 6 yards. 2 carries, 6 yards. The last 6 games of the season, he was much, much more involved with the majority of his work coming in that time frame right there. That kind of averages out to more of 120 carries. I think he'll get more than what he got down the stretch last year. I am excited about Chase Brown in 2024.